5-finger shoes. That is my motivational word for you today. Hey everyone, I am Chad. I am a Jesus follower, and I am the pastor at Henderson General Baptist Church. And my motivational word for you today is 5-finger shoes. I know that sounds weird, and as a matter of fact, when I work out in these, if anybody's around, they look at my feet and go, "What are you doing?" But I love these shoes. They feel good on my feet. They make my feet beautiful. But the reality is why do I use these? Well, sometimes we take for granted our abilities. We take for granted our talents. We take for granted our time. And these 5-finger shoes, every time I put them on my feet, every day that I wear them, it motivates me in a way that most people don't think about. How? Well, I have people in my life who can't put shoes like this on their feet, and they can't run like I do, and they can't exercise like I do. So I look at it and I say, I'm not going to take for granted those motions, those abilities, those physical attributes that we have. And oftentimes in our life, we spend most of our life doing the minimum amount of what we can. And I have two people that are going to come to you in just a moment, and they're going to express to you what they've gone through in just a short amount of time. But I want you to think about 5-finger shoes for you, and let that be your motivational word for your day.
2 years ago, I would have never thought about having a brain tumor that causes me to have left-sided weakness. But now it's every day, and it's reality, and it stops me from doing a lot of things. But I don't let it stop me from growing in my relationship with God, and I have to use it as a motivator and not an excuse to stop and go backwards in my walk with God, and I have to keep just running spiritually with God.
Being unable to walk has changed me completely. I went from working corrections, refereeing high school football and basketball, being active with my kids, going up to the park and schooling the boys in basketball. So I've had to learn to adapt and to adjust. And the good thing about being in a wheelchair is now that I can go to the store, people let me get in the line in front of the line. My legs never get tired from working out. And I can buy some tennis shoes and wear them fair because the soles of my shoes will never wear out. There's always a positive in everything that you do. You just have to find it.
5-finger shoes. The motivational word for the day. Most of us haven't even heard of 5-finger shoes. And much like Katelyn and Alan, they didn't see the day coming when they couldn't be fully functioning physically speaking. And yet that's not stopping them. Their motivation continues to move forward and to continue to shine for God. And the Bible tells me this in Romans chapter 10, verse 13. It says, "For everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved." And then it goes on down to verse 15 and it reads, "And how will anyone go and tell them without being sent?" This is why the scripture reads, "How beautiful are the feet who bring good news." See, it doesn't matter if you wear 5-finger shoes or not. What matters is how beautiful your feet are. And this isn't about beauty of your physical attributes. This is about beauty of your spirit that says, I'm going to remain positive. I'm going to continue moving forward. I'm not going to allow the circumstances and the situations of my life to impact me to the point where I give up and I give in and I stop. See, Alan and Katelyn haven't stopped, and they're motivated to keep moving forward. And for you today, how beautiful are your feet? Are you motivated to put your shoes on, to tie those shoes, to work through the pain of getting those kind of shoes on your feet every day that says, I'm going to continue exercising because I can. I'm going to continue telling the good news about Jesus Christ because my feet are beautiful and I know that they need to be telling others about that. The Bible tells me in Isaiah chapter 52, verse 7, how beautiful on the mountains are the feet of the messenger who brings good news. The good news of peace and salvation. The news that the God of Israel reigns. For us today, when we think about this, we understand the greatness of God. And it doesn't matter what kind of physical ailment you have. It doesn't matter what kind of heartache or pain you've been through. My motivational word for you today, 5-finger shoes. Are you ready to make your feet beautiful? Are you motivated to say, I can, so I will? Just because you can does not mean you will. So many of us are given excuses for why we can't and why we won't and why we don't have enough of this and enough of that. And yet every single day I see people like Katelyn continuing to get up and move forward. I see people like Alan who continues to shine positivity into other people's lives, who continues to show love and kindness and graciousness, whose sense of humor is beyond all compare. And Alan is a Dallas Cowboy fan. You can't get much better than that. 5-finger shoes is my motivational word for you today. The Bible tells me in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 15, for shoes, put on the peace that comes from the good news, so that you will be fully prepared. See, for me, it's not what shoes you put on your feet on the outside. My motivational word for you today, 5-finger shoes. It's not about these that I can easily put on and off now because I figured out how to put them on and take them off. No, we're looking for the peace that only comes through Jesus Christ. So the motivational word for you today, 5-finger shoes, but it's about the shoes of peace that only comes from the good news of Jesus Christ. May God bless you. May you be motivated today to go do something. Don't say I can't. Go do the things that you can and that you are willing to sacrifice to have happen. Go spread the gospel of Jesus Christ and have beautiful feet. Oh man, I gotta put some stinky spray in there. These things will smell after a while. So I need you to subscribe right there so that way I can do something with these shoes. Woo!